What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date and keep you informed with everything that the government does. And yes, you read that thumbnail right. They want to start World War III. I know that's been thrown around a lot lately, but Zelensky is hell-bent to start World War III. Yeah, we're talking about Ukraine today, and these people are outright insane. I don't know why we're helping Ukraine in the first place, right? You got our leaders over here lying to us saying, we got to defend democracy against Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Yeah, but we've looked at this quite well, and you know what? The American people are tired of paying for foreign wars. We're tired of hearing the politicians scream, we must save democracy somewhere else. Looking at all this and thinking, that's not really a democracy, is it? Nope. They're trying to ban the Christian church. They canceled the election. They consolidated all their media into a state-run media. Well, that sounds like a propaganda outlet, if you ask me. But let's get into this right quick. Exclusive. Ukraine's Zelensky pushes allies to step up aid and involvement in war. That's right. He wants NATO to get involved in this thing. Is this guy freaking crazy? Western allies are taking too long to make key decisions on military support for Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky told Reuters in an exclusive interview in Kyiv on Monday. I've always heard, as a kid and growing up, you never look a gift horse in the mouth. And if you've never heard that saying before, that pretty much means you don't complain about something that's given to you, right? We have supported this guy. We have given him $200 billion in military assistance, for crying out loud. And he is telling us, oh, you're taking too long? Are you freaking serious? We have absolutely supported your government. We have paid for the pensions and paychecks, for God's sakes, for police officers, firemen, first responders, all the like, nurses, doctors, and all this stuff. And you're going to look a gift horse in the mouth and say we're freaking taking too long? You can go screw yourself, buddy. He also said he was pushing partners to get more directly involved in the war by helping to intercept Russian missiles over Ukraine and allowing Kyiv to use Western weapons against enemy military equipment amassing near the border. Yeah, freaking right. The call to accelerate aid and push so-called red lines of engagement in the conflict reflect the growing pressure Zelensky's forces are under along the more than 1,000-kilometer front lines in the northeast, east, and south of the country. An impassioned Zelensky, dressed in his familiar khaki t-shirt and trousers, said the situation on the battlefield was one of the most difficult he had known since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022. In recent weeks, Moscow's troops have made incursions into northeastern Ukraine, further testing Kyiv's already stretched defenses. At the same time, Russia has taken territory in the eastern Donbass region in sometimes fierce battles. A very powerful wave of fighting is going on in Donbass. No one even notices that there are actually more battles in the east of the country, specifically in the Donbass direction. Kurakov, Pokrovsk, something, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't read Ukrainian at all. He added, however, that the situation north of Kharkiv was now under control. The 46-year-old was speaking on the 5th anniversary of his inauguration as president. He has not contested elections because of martial law imposed due to the invasion. Yeah, freaking right. Okay, so that one might be slightly understandable, right? You're in a freaking war. Your country's getting destroyed. You're not going to put on an election. Look, I get it, okay? I still think it's very anti-democratic to do so, but still, I get it. Zelensky called again for faster military aid from the United States and other partners. Weapons and ammunition from a recently passed U.S. package is now arriving in Ukraine, but it was delayed for months by internal political wrangling. Yeah, because Americans are absolutely tired of funding foreign war. That's all we've been doing since freaking World War II. constant wars, just constantly here, there, freaking everywhere. We're getting sick and tired of this. We don't like war. We don't like funding war. And you guys, politicians, getting out there and yelling about, oh, we got to save democracy. We got to go do some nation building over here in this country. Yeah, we're freaking sick and tired of it. We don't have to do that. We are tired of this BS, and we want it to stop. We have so many problems in our own country that our own politicians are unwilling to fix. They just want to turn a blind eye to the absolute destruction of our own country and look abroad and say, we need to help these people. No, we need to help ourselves first. We have an absolute invasion going on our southern border. Our economy is still going down. Yeah, I just did a video on that yesterday. We have the shadow campaign going on. As a matter of fact, go check that video out if you haven't seen it. It's a must-watch, most important video I've ever made. As a matter of fact, that's what the thumbnail says. So please, I would suggest everybody go watch that video. It is very enlightening, and it shows exactly how the Democrats won in 2020. Exactly what they did. All their underhanded tactics. It was absolute BS. Just go check that video out. You got to watch that one. I'm sorry, but, I don't like to pat myself on the back or say I did a good job. I'm not going to do that. But the information in that video is just crazy. I'm sure longtime viewers know I don't ever brag on myself at all. I don't ever tell you to go look at this video. But this one, yeah, go watch that video. Absolutely. Every decision to which we, then later everyone together, comes to is late by around 1 year, said Zelensky. Yeah, that was kind of rough to get through. I don't know if y'all noticed I was struggling to say that. Why would he word it in such a way? That's weird. But it is what it is. One big step forward, but before that, 2 steps back. So we need to change the paradigm a little bit. Zelensky said he wanted his partners to be more directly involved in the war, but understood they were wary of antagonizing Russia. No, I'm sorry. If NATO gets over there and starts shooting down Russian missiles, that's a major escalation. You're not just antagonizing Russia. That's pretty much declaring war on Russia. Do you really think they're not going to escalate even further? Yeah. I think Putin would get kicked out of his own leadership if he didn't respond in kind by attacking NATO. And we all know what that means. You trigger Article 5, we've got World War 3, which could absolutely escalate to some full-scale nuclear war. And I know that would be a major escalation. But once again, like I've said in the past, if NATO goes to war with Russia, sure, it'll be conventional for a while. We'll start pushing Russia back because they have absolutely no chance of beating NATO in a conventional war. So it's going to turn existential for Russia. And what happens when it turns existential for Russia? Yeah, that's an existential threat. They're going to fire off their nukes because they're going to get destroyed anyway. So why not take out Washington, D.C., Berlin, London? Just take it all out. You might as well. So we don't want to do that. And I don't understand how Zelensky can think that the American people would go along with this. I don't know. You guys, y'all let me know down in the comment section. Are you guys cheering for World War III? For the destruction of major cities all across the United States? Because it would ultimately end up in that. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. I'm just looking at it for what it is. That is what it is. I'm sorry, we would start pushing into Russia, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think we need to halt all the fighting. We need to put a stop to this war, because we're just bleeding freaking U.S. taxpayer dollars here for no apparent reason. To save a nation nobody can find on a freaking map? Yeah, right. Come on, give me a freaking break. It's a question of will, he said, but everyone says a word that sounds the same in every language. Everyone is scared of escalation. I think I just explained that outright just now. Everyone has gotten used to the fact that Ukrainians are dying. That's not escalation for people. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a major escalation. You're going from a localized, little tiny land grab of a war to a world war, a global conflict that nobody wants. He proposed that the armed forces of neighboring NATO countries could intercept incoming Russian missiles over Ukrainian territory to help Kyiv protect itself. Yeah, right. Russia has fired thousands of missiles and drones at Ukraine since the start of the wider conflict, and air defenses are a priority for Kyiv. Russians are using 300 planes on the territory of Ukraine. We need at least 120, 130 planes to resist in the sky, he said. Ukraine is waiting for the delivery of U.S.-designed F-16s, which have yet to be used in anger. He said that if countries could not supply the planes straight away, they could still fly them from neighboring NATO states and shoot down Russian missiles. The Ukrainian leader also said Kyiv was negotiating with international partners to use their weapons to strike Russian military hardware at the border and further inside Russian territory. So far, there is nothing positive, he said. Russian President Vladimir Putin would likely view such developments as escalatory. Yeah, you think? Really? Yeah, of course he's going to view it as escalatory if NATO planes start shooting down Russian missiles. By God, we are not at war with Russia, technically. These people must just love death outright. They just must love to see soldiers get killed for them to advocate so hardly for war. President Zelensky must want the absolute destruction of his country. Just outright. He must want it destroyed. Instead of trying to negotiate, maybe losing a little bit of territory, whatever. It's a loss. But you save lives, by the way, which is an argument you get from all over the place, like, oh, we had to drop bombs on Hiroshima to save lives. We had to kill 100,000 to save 100 million. Yeah, don't give me that. No, it didn't have to come to that. I'm sorry. You can make all the arguments you want. You know, Japan could have negotiated something before that point, negotiated some sort of peace deal or something like that. I'm not saying it's all on us. Of course not. But Japan could have negotiated something and they would have remained intact, which is the same thing that could happen here. Zelensky could negotiate and stop the war. You know, some sort of ceasefire situation where we're not fighting anymore. But do they want to do that? No, they don't. They just want more money coming from the West. They want to pump into their system and continue fighting and continue killing more Ukrainians. Yeah, I'm on the side of not killing people. That's why I don't understand all these people that are like, yeah, we must defend Ukraine, putting their little Ukrainian flags in their profile picture and all that BS. That's ridiculous, if you ask me. He cast the war as part of an existential battle with a declining and decadent West, which he says humiliated Russia after the Berlin Wall fell in 1989 by encroaching on what he considers Moscow's sphere of influence, including Ukraine, which we did. Ukraine and the West reject such an interpretation, calling the invasion an unprovoked land grab. Yeah, it wasn't completely unprovoked, by the way. Yeah, NATO has been encroaching on Russia ever since the Berlin Wall fell. We made a promise not to encroach, and all we have done since then is encroach. Yeah, did they think that Russia was just going to lay down and not do something? As a matter of fact, if they wanted to invade NATO, they should have already done it. But I don't think they want to do that because Russia knows that's a losing battle for them. That's why I don't get all these people who are like, we must stop Russia now. Otherwise, he's going to roll into Germany and go into Poland and all this other BS. Yeah, right. If he wanted to do that, he would have already done it. He just wants his freaking land bridge. That's all he wants. Zelensky reiterated that he had not broken agreements with allies not to use their weapons inside Russia. We can't put the whole volume of weapons at risk. Ukraine is gearing up for international talks in Switzerland next month that will include Russia and are aimed at trying to unify and harden opinion against Moscow. Putin has said he believes the talks may convert Ukrainian demands for a Russian withdrawal into an ultimatum for Russia, a strategy he said would fail. Zelensky said it was crucial to get as many countries around the table as possible, and then Russia will have to answer to the majority of the world, not Ukraine. No one says that tomorrow Russia will agree, but it is important that we have the initiative. Beijing has yet to say whether it will participate, although Chinese President Xi Jinping and Putin met last week in China and pledged a new era of partnership between the two most powerful rivals of the United States. It is very important that they, China, are there, and said Zelensky. Because in principle, after this summit, it becomes clear who wants to end the war and who wants to remain in strong relations with the Russian Federation. On U.S. politics, he sought to dampen concerns that any win for Republican candidate Donald Trump in November elections could spell trouble for Ukraine. Trump is a Ukraine aid skeptic who has stressed America First policies. I don't believe that Republicans are against support for Ukraine, but some messages that are coming from their side raise concerns. Yeah, because Americans are tired of funding war. That's what he doesn't get. That's what I think a lot of those politicians don't get. We're tired of all the killing going on. We're tired of wasting our tax dollars going to work every day to pay some freaking money so people can kill each other. That's outright BS, if you ask me. And this topic fires me up. Zelensky, a former comedian, said he would let others judge his performance as leader of a country at war, but he expressed his gratitude to the Ukrainian people for their stoicism in the face of adversity. He also insisted that Ukraine could still win the war despite setbacks in recent months. So this guy is in some sort of delusional dreamland where he thinks Ukraine can drive out Russia. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, Russia isn't even going full tilt here. Russia could have absolutely demolished Ukraine a long time ago if they wanted to. They could have absolutely just ran over all Ukrainian defenses, regardless of how much military aid we're sending over there. They've been going at this at a slow pace, in case y'all haven't noticed. Yeah, so all these people that are like, oh, Putin's going to keep going. He's going to take over Ukraine, and then he's going to keep going. Well, why hasn't he done that yet? Because he doesn't want to. He just wants his land bridge, and that's it. The facts bear that out. Time has bared that out, as a matter of fact. But these people don't want to stop funding war. Our politicians don't care about all the problems we have in America. That's why I say yes for Donald Trump. Bring him in. He might just be able to put an end to this war. He said he could do it in 24 hours. Hey, he might be able to do that. I have no idea. I have some skepticism about those claims. But it's a possibility, that's for sure. But I think I've rambled on for long enough on this one. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Do y'all see some kind of out for Russia on this, to where they can keep their land bridge and get out of this thing unscathed by NATO? Or do y'all think that our leaders are going to go absolute apeshit and just full-scale war with Russia? What do y'all think? Let me know. That's all I got. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.